How's everybody doing today? What I'd like to talk about is, we're going into this holiday season, and there's some things that you may have regret this past year, or you reflected on, and then you're feeling guilty about it. Well, I'm kind of here to tell you that you need to let go of that guilt, because part of the reflection process is, conjuring up those thoughts of regret in order for you to let them go, because that regret puts undue stress and disease and virus in your body if you hold on to it, because it's a form of stress. And if you regret things, then your psychological viewpoint on stuff in the future won't be in such a way where you're not using your intuition and you're like, oh, I regretted doing that, so I should do it now. Well, the past is the past. You did what you did. Now you got to focus on the present. The reflection of dredging up those memories of what may you have caused you stress, or some PTSD, or whatever the case may be. Conjure it up so you can release it out of your mind, your body, and your soul, because you store stress in your body in the form of cramped muscles, disease, sickness. All that stuff is derived from anxiety and stress. So it's imperative for you to let go of those things, because you're literally creating the disease in your body. It is, I know the doctors and all that stuff usually correlated to genetics and dieting and all that stuff, and that has some of a factor. But you basically weren't trained to be like psychologically safe, and you weren't raised psychologically safe. So therefore, the disease and the sickness come to you, and because you really don't know the power and the energy you have to heal. So basically, most of this video is based on let going of regret and guilt at the end of the this end of the year, because I told you in the previous video this is a year of definitely reflection and prosperity. So if you're feeling both of those, like if you have had some money that you've been manifesting come in unnaturally quick or whatever, but you're also feeling guilt, you're now attaching it to the finances. So your old guilt might have been something that you said or did to somebody else or a family member, but now you're attaching guilt to the newfound money that you have, because you're not used to having it. So you need to, your first instinct is to magnetically attract it to something else and hold that guilt onto something else. And now your finances are going to be a little bit of a chaos, because you just attached the old problem to the new positive thing that you brought into your life, and it's conjuring up like other problems, and you're like, wow, I made this money, now I'm having new problems because of it. Well, did you attach some form of fear or anxiety or guilt to that new finances that you have? And guilt might be a big one, because you're like, oh, I have all this money now, but my friends and family that are suffering now, I want to give to them or whatever. Otherwise, I'll feel guilty that I have the money. I bought a new car, and so and so still driving the old jalopy, and I can tell when they look at me, they feel some sort of envy and jealousy. It's not up for you to basically make space for others other than teaching them the information that you know. If you're people pleasing, you got to let that go and start becoming a coach and a teacher and an advisor, or maybe a good friend that just can give kind of like a safe space to talk about spirituality too. Because you can't, a lot of times if you just gave them money, you're not helping them any, if you're not basically giving them the information that you learn from manifestation and metaphysics from myself or others, or other books that you've read. You're just, they're still stuck in the old system, and they think you just gave them money out of pity, or because you have a lot, and then you'll feel guilty if you didn't do it. But living in the present and not being a people pleaser and teaching others on how to do what it is that you know how to do is vastly more productive and helpful for them than just handing it to them and say, hey, this is just a, this is a gift for you. You deserve it. I appreciate you. All these things you still want to say, but you also want to be like, by the way, this is how I got it. We're manifestors, we're infinite spiritual beings having a temporary human experience, and this is why, and then lay it out on the table of how this was all created. Now, they may believe you or may not. You might not be able to explain it well, or you might be able to explain it good and they still don't believe. It doesn't matter. It's up for them to then take that information on their journey, and you continue on your journey and keep proving to yourself that this is the way. And, eventually the others are going to start catching up. It's like, wow, Mary or Steve or so-and-so is just doing fantastic because they keep proving that they're manifesting, or like good things are happening to them because they're proving it. The proof is in the pudding. You can't like deny the actions of what's happening to others or yourself. You know what I mean? So it's not your job to control them. So you just can give them the advice, share, have a safe space to talk about it. Don't get into arguments. I've done this before. So this is kind of like giving you the wisdom of the sage, so to speak, when it comes to like debating spirituality, especially when you're talking to somebody about religion that they're wholeheartedly believing in another religion. No matter what type of religion it is, their strong belief system is in it. So they might start arguing with you, or even do something to the fact of, I was talking to a friend the other day. She told me that, when you talk to other people, like if you're a spiritual person and you're talking to them about religion, they feel like they need to save you, and they're saying, I need to pray for you because you're wrong. Like you're going to hell, so I need to pray for you. That's not good intention, because they're in their mind, they thinking that you're bad or you're doing something bad, and then they have to provide energy for you in order to quote unquote save you. And it's highly frustrating because it's good intention, but it's a bad energy, because they're assuming that you're going to hell or you're going to be punished somehow in this life or the afterlife. Like whatever the case may be, just know that you just ask questions when you're giving advice. Don't argue or debate about it. Just say, hey, this is information that I found out, or you can use. It's up to you. I know it's helped me out a lot. You can give a testimony if you want. But if it just doesn't work, or they're just not having it, then you should let it go. And you may really want to like strive hard and not give up giving them this information. Like, I know it can help you so much, and but if they're not willing to receive it, you can't force it on them. That's just like how other people force religions onto other people. The spiritual way is to provide the information, or have a safe space for them for you to share the information and not argue about it, and leave it open for them to decide whether they want to do it or not, and demonstrate why this and why, or give them books to read on that might help them or whatever. But like I said, it's not your place to force anything onto them, nor is it mine. Like, I don't force this information on you guys. I just want you to watch me talk about what I know and what I've experienced, and if it can help you, great. If it can't, thanks for checking out the video. I greatly appreciate it either way. I'm here to spread this knowledge, right? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching the video, and have a nice day.